Hold on tight, Al, because the latest drama involving Diddy, Wendy Williams, and some of Hollywood's most famous names is getting messier by the day. It seems like every week, new revelations are coming out about Diddy's notorious freak-offs and wild parties. And now, an old video of Wendy Williams spilling the tea on Diddy's naked basketball games is making the rounds. And let me tell you, the names being dropped are ones you would never expect to be involved in something this outrageous. Wendy has been out of the game for a minute, but she was one of the first people to call Diddy out for his antics, way before Jaguar Wright and Cat Williams came forward with their own bombshells. Now, as more details are coming to light, Wendy has decided to make a comeback and drop some receipts that are sure to shake up the entertainment world. And trust me, what she has to say could bring Hollywood and the music industry to a complete standstill. In a recently resurfaced video, Wendy made some shocking claims about the secret tapes Diddy has been keeping for years. According to Wendy, these tapes contain footage of some of Hollywood's biggest names doing things you wouldn't believe. The world would shut down if I showed one of these tapes, Wendy warned. I'm telling you, the whole music industry and Hollywood would grind to a halt. They'd all start pointing fingers at each other, and it would be a complete disaster. And it looks like Wendy's not exaggerating. Rumors are swirling that copies of these tapes are being sold to the highest bidder on the dark web, and Hollywood's biggest stars are working overtime to distance themselves from Diddy and his infamous parties. But here's the kicker. Some of the celebrities who took part in these wild nights are now scrambling to buy back these tapes to prevent them from going public. Word on the street is that some of Diddy's former employees, people who helped organize and clean up after his freak-offs, walked away with their own copies of the tapes. These ex-workers made sure to capture everything because, let's face it, if it isn't caught on camera, did it even happen? And after the feds raided Diddy's home, some of these tapes got out, falling into the hands of people who don't mind making them public unless the price is right. There have even been reports that some of these tapes are already being sold on the dark web. Celebrities who star in the videos are desperately trying to get their hands on them, but the price is steep. Wendy Williams herself hinted that the last tape sold for a jaw-dropping $500 million. And guess who was allegedly featured in that tape? None other than Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, and Drake. Yes, you read that right. Some of the biggest names in music and entertainment. Recently, an attorney came forward with even more shocking details. She revealed that she was contacted by someone trying to sell one of Diddy's tapes. A woman reached out to me a few weeks ago accusing Diddy of something that happened back in 2018, the attorney said. She told me that Diddy transported her across state lines for, well, you know what. But that wasn't the only shocking revelation. The attorney also confirmed that these tapes are real, and people are actively shopping them around Hollywood. This attorney didn't just stop there. She claimed that some of the footage she saw included naked basketball games, a rumor that's been floating around Hollywood for years. According to her, one of the people featured in the tapes was even more high-profile than Diddy himself. I've seen enough of the video to know that it's real. There's no question about who is in the video, and let me tell you, it's graphic. These wild naked basketball games were first talked about by Wendy Williams years ago, and she wasn't afraid to call out names. Back in the day, Wendy talked about how comedian Tommy Davidson accused Jamie Foxx of ripping off his underwear during one of these games. According to Wendy, Jamie Foxx was a regular at Diddy's parties, and these basketball games were just the tip of the iceberg. Jamie supposedly enjoyed attending these events so much that he got cocky and started bragging about them, until things went horribly wrong. Now there are rumors that Jamie Foxx's recent health scare, where he allegedly had a stroke, might be connected to these freak-off parties. One source claimed that Jamie attended one of these infamous naked basketball games and ended up in the hospital afterward. The story goes that Jamie showed up to the game only to find everyone else already naked and playing basketball. When he refused to join in, things took a turn, and not long after, Jamie was hospitalized. As wild as this story sounds, Jamie Foxx's involvement in Diddy's parties has been an open secret in Hollywood for years. In fact, Jamie even got in trouble with his neighbors once for hosting naked basketball games at his own house. An elderly couple living nearby caught a glimpse of Jamie and his friends playing nude basketball, and they were not happy about it. Jamie ended up issuing a public apology, saying, "We used to play nude basketball for clinical reasons, to release the soul. Part of my fence was down, and I didn't know the neighbors were there." Even DJ Envy from The Breakfast Club brought up Jamie's naked basketball games during an interview, making Jamie visibly uncomfortable. Envy joked about Jamie taking naked pictures of himself, and Jamie tried to laugh it off. But it was clear the conversation hit a nerve. Now, with all the recent revelations about Diddy's parties, Jamie's involvement seems to be a lot more serious than anyone realized at the time. But it's not just Jamie Foxx who's been linked to these wild parties. Over the years, rumors have circulated that other big names like Will Smith, Leonardo DiCaprio, LeBron James, and even Jay-Z have attended Diddy's naked basketball games. According to insiders, these games weren't just about basketball. They were about power, control, and something much darker. Will Smith, in particular, has been named in multiple reports as being involved in Diddy's wild parties. There are even rumors that Will hosted his own version of these freak-offs, much like Diddy did, and that young men who attended his parties would leave in a panic, desperate to escape whatever was happening inside. Jaguar Wright, an industry insider, has claimed that Will and Diddy were close friends and often hosted these debauched gatherings together. And it doesn't stop there. Dwayne Wade, another major celebrity, has also been linked to these parties. His former business partner, Richard Von Houtman, came forward saying that Wade's public image as a family man was nothing but a facade. He was that good guy, father of the year, celebrity who had his head on straight, Von Houtman said. But after working with him, I realized he wasn't that guy at all. Von Houtman also revealed that Wade hosted wild parties where women were brought in from clubs, and things would get out of control quickly. With all these bombshell revelations coming to light, it's no wonder Hollywood's biggest names are in full-blown panic mode. But the tapes that have already been leaked are just the beginning. One of Diddy's former male workers has reportedly signed a deal with the feds, allowing him to spill all the tea without facing prosecution. This worker allegedly handed over tapes showing Diddy engaging in all kinds of activities, including a threesome that he filmed himself. Some of these tapes have already been flown out of the country on private jets, but others are still out there, showing footage that goes back as far as 30 years. With every new leak, more and more of Hollywood's elite are getting caught up in the mess, and it's only a matter of time before the tapes hit the public. The internet is on fire with reactions to this scandal, and people are shook. One user commented, "Funny how most of these celebs talked bad about gay people, but now they're exposed as hypocrites." Another said, "Naked basketball is therapy? LeBron's giving up the game for real." The tension in Hollywood is reaching a boiling point, and with every day that passes, the fear among these celebs grows. No one knows when the next bombshell tape will drop, or who will be exposed next. Some are calling this the biggest scandal Hollywood has ever seen, and honestly, it's hard to argue with that. All we can do now is sit back and wait to see who gets caught in the crossfire next. One thing's for sure though, this drama is far from over, so stay tuned because more is bound to come out, and when it does, Hollywood will never be the same again. Make sure to leave your comments below. Hit that like button and subscribe for all the latest updates on this wild saga.